Chile will play Germany or Mexico. The second semi-final with us tomorrow night from 6:30 with us here on ITV for the right to play Chile in St. Petersburg. Three great saves. Sorry?
It was fun.
Well, it was fun in the end, was it? Yeah, I mean, three, as you say, from Claudio Bravo's point of view, three terrific saves, all he could do.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say they were bad penalties, but the goalie's got to choose the right way. And the last one, especially against Nani, he waited and waited and waited. Nani was waiting for him, and in the end, he outfoxed him and he made him shoot in that corner and made the save. But the other saves were savable. It goes the other way, and it's an easy penalty, but I think he outfoxed the penalty takers.
And Jimmy, you spotted it. All three penalty takers, Portugal, who missed, all subs, all brought on. Yeah. Well, primarily or not, but certainly with penalties in mind.
Well, yeah, they've been brought on to make the team stronger, but also in the back mind of those are my penalty takers. And those three penalty takers, they failed. And they failed really badly, to be honest, not convincingly. You would think he would have the know-how how to be able to put the ball in the net.
At least Quaresma struck it, didn't he?
He struck it, but...
This is a carbon copy, Moutinho, is it? It's actually identical.
And Moutinho normally is a safe bet in the penalties. You know, he struck it as well, but...
This one, look how long he waits. He waits.
It's not convincing, is it? No. It's not convincing. So fair to Bravo, fair to Bravo.
Yeah. Got to give the goalie credit.
So where do you stand on the debate then, which we actually had before we even came on air? As I was saying earlier, Ronaldo was the fifth penalty taker tonight, we think, and certainly was in the Euro 2012 game where they were knocked out in Kiev by Spain. It never got as far as him. Yeah. So you're thinking, well, hell, that's an absolute waste. He's your best penalty taker. Surely you can't go number 5 for this exact reason. Where should you bat?
I'm a big believer in the number 1 be the best one and the number 5 be the best one, because those are the most pressurized penalties. So your best penalties takers have to take 1 and 5. Now, I would think that Quaresma, they think that he is one of the best ones. Yeah, he should have the composure to score that. I don't know his status of how much he has missed in the past, but you know how he is pronouncing himself, showing himself. You would think that he would score that. You know.
There's no doubt that number 1, and I've been taking number 1 quite a lot, and I've also taken number 5 as well. Number 1 is pressure, because that feeling of getting your team into the session, and then but also that last one. I didn't take one in the UEFA Cup final because Patrick missed before me. I was 5, and so I didn't get to take one then. But
I normally take the number 1. I would normally want to take the number 1.
I would expect you to take number 1 as well, Jimmy. OK, how about this then? So having got to Nani, they know that if he doesn't score, it's finished. So should they then change the order? Should Ronaldo say, I need to take the responsibility now of scoring to keep us in it?
I don't think that is allowed, is it?
No, you have to give your list.
You have to give your order. You have to give your order, and you can't change. So Nani...
It's even more of a gamble then, potentially.
It is, but... Come on, you're talking about Quaresma, Moutinho, Nani. You're talking about big players here, players who have been playing in this kind of atmosphere for a long time. You would think that they would be able to handle that moment.
With all due respect to those players, there's bigger players than them missed penalties before. So the nerve does get to you, and it is about you can practice the technique as much as you like. But when it comes to that moment, when the pressure's on, it's a completely different set of rules, and it can affect you, obviously.
But also, with all due respect, I am in a way happy because Chile was the better side and they deserved to win. And the first one who took that penalty, Vidal, showed them how it had to be taken with conviction and power and no nonsense. Boom. In the goal.
And they deserved a win as well, because as we brought in video assistant referee, or it's been brought in for this Confederations Cup, then not to use it when it seems blatantly obvious that it should be used has left us all a little bit baffled, hasn't it? You see the referee, Fagani of Iran, you know, he can't see everything. He can't possibly see whether that's a foul or a dive, but not to ask for it seems a bit odd.
Well, we see the foul there. There's no doubt. You can see Font's face as well. But his position here, just look at him. He's looking from behind, the foot goes in. Can he see that contact? He's looking right at the back of it, might not see the contact. Right, guys, upstairs. Is there contact? Is there penalty? That's what's needed.
He should ask that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
he should ask that. It is. Otherwise, why are they there? Use them.
They've got Coronation Street on there, so...
I mean,
there's got to be a reason why that communication has broken down. Why if the referee hasn't said anything, why have they not said... how many times have I said this week, the last 2 weeks? Why have they not said, have a look at that, ref, there's contact?
Yeah.
He looks at it, or he said, it's a penalty.
Is it too simple?
Yeah.
But
right.
let's be honest, it's really for this. I mean, it's been brought in primarily things like mistaken identity. That's important, but it's not as important as red cards, offside goals or penalties. That's why it's been brought in. This seems to be absolutely the archetypal incident for which VAR is to be used, doesn't it? Couldn't see a better example of it in a game of this magnitude.
And it doesn't take long. It is just, tell me, was it not?
Have a look at that.
Have a look. And in the meanwhile, the keeper is taking the ball back and putting it on the spot for a goal kick. And in the meantime, you get your information. No penalty, done.
We've talked about the ball staying in play and all of that lot and confusion, but that was the perfect one. The first game was it Russia,
yes.
And they're the same situation, didn't quite see it. Can you help me out, lads? Yeah, it's a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's just so simple.
Yeah, because the ball runs out of place. You've got a natural pause to the game. It is complicated by the fact that none of us can hear what's going on. As I said, unlike both rugby codes and unlike cricket, none of us can hear the level of communication or not. So it just leads to this, doesn't it? It just leads to a slightly surmising as to whether they're talking to each other or not.
Are football going to become the laughing stock of the other sports now? And rugby looking at it and going, why don't they just why don't they just hear each other? Then everyone will go, oh right, okay, it'll be clear then. But there must be a reason. I don't know what the reason is why the communication isn't heard.
The beautiful thing is the player knew that it was a penalty.
Yeah.
What Font knew it was a penalty. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he did.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he had a guilty look on his face, didn't he? He had his hand caught in the till, didn't he? And he knew he'd got away with it.
But the referee, is that arrogant?
What, the referee not to ask for it?
Not to ask for it?
Maybe they're just not. Maybe they're just simply not in the groove of asking for it. Maybe because clearly they never had to do so before. It's just there is that reflex. I make the decision. I've made it. On we go.
I'll make the wrong decision. Let's go on. Yeah, let's play on. That's a good idea, isn't it?
But that's what we want out of the game.
Absolutely. Listen, we talked about Vidal. I think he was our man of the match, wasn't he? The way that he took the penalty summed it up. But his entire game, every facet of football that you want to enjoy and see, we saw this evening from him.
Every aspect, the hunger, the fight, the tackling, the beautifulness, the passing here, the desire. He doesn't give up. Bang, bang. It's
there's these clips are typical. There's one clip that shows what this bloke is all about.
He's getting the crowd going there, isn't he?
That's a little taster of it. There's another one here when he steams out, but the best one of all is when he's lining up in the wall, because it just typifies what's going on. Just look at this now. This is him, number 8. Can I be as big as I can? Look at the other guys in the wall, protecting themselves. And he's just like, go on, hit me. He's made himself,
hit my Mohican.
He's made himself 8 foot tall there.
He number 8, eh?
Yeah.
He's a leader. How unlucky is he here? For me, that is unlucky.
If you played with him, you couldn't fail. But this is the first penalty of the shootout. Look at that. This is going. You couldn't fail but to be inspired by him, could you?
I don't understand why an English team don't try to buy him. That is the kind of player you want to bring to the Premiership. That is the kind of character. That is the leader that can be for Arsenal that they need.
Yeah. I'd take him at Arsenal tomorrow.
He's 13. I mean, age is just a number, but he's 30. But
well, the way that he's playing, it looks like he's 24.
You know what I'm saying, though? Someone would have to spend a lot of money on somebody for which they'd feel that the resale value isn't going to be that much.
Yeah, but if he wins you the Premier League, or he helps you win the Premier League,
exactly.
the resale value doesn't matter.
I've just been the finance director over here.
Are you an Arsenal fan as well?
You know what I am. I'm just the finance director over here. That's what they'd say. Let's have a look at the Chilean chances then as well. The early one with Vargas, actually, had this gone in, we would, well, I'm saying we would have had VAR, but as we didn't have it at the end, we might not have done. But this was another example of it.
Yeah, he was. Sanchez just coming off his marker. What a ball that is. He was just marginally offside, but as we talked about, if he just lifts it, and then, again, superb crossing, just a little touch, and then Arangui's just swiping on it, Jimmy.
Yeah, he needed to stay calm. This is what an overhead kick. What a composure from Vargas. But
and that's
good
a really
save.
good save, isn't it?
Good save, good save, good save. And this here, he's unlucky, Sanchez. Good pick out.
He thinks he's in, doesn't he?
Well, we all thought it was in.
Look how it just
bends away from the post.
Is that because he just had to stretch back for it slightly behind
It's a little bit behind him, and he's just got a little bit too much on it. But I think he's running after it to get either a rebound off the post or pick it out the net.
What about Portugal overall? I mean, they had a great early chance from Andre Silva.
Yeah.
But they sort of seem to run out of a little bit of steam, didn't
they played more on the counter. What a ball here from Ronaldo, but Andre Silva needs to score this. He was not really in his game today, Andre Silva, who I expect more from, but good save.
I didn't think any of them played that.
No.
Top of their game today,
that well.
Jimmy, didn't they?
Ronaldo here, good hit, but good save. Chest back, Vidal. In both boxes, he was vital. You know, good cross, but very difficult for Ronaldo. I thought Portugal today, they weren't really that great. They couldn't keep the ball. No. When they kept the ball, they weren't going nowhere. They weren't penetrating enough for my liking. They were playing too much on the counter. And when they tried to hit forward, it didn't stick. For me, Chile was the much better side.
It did feel like it was Ronaldo or nothing today, doesn't it? And I know they hate to be described as a one-man team, but we've obviously, from the Chilean point of view, we've talked about Vidal and Sanchez and Vargas and everybody, but it did seem Ronaldo-centric more than ever, didn't it?
Yeah, and he didn't have his best game either. His touch was a little bit off. He created a couple of things, as we've just seen, but if you're relying on one man, that man he normally produces, and he wasn't quite at his best today. But overall, I think Chile with a better side, and they'll be good in the final. Yeah,
I mean, there's a hardened team who know how to win. All right, you might say that having won 2 Copa America finals, 0-0, and won it on penalties, and the same tonight, it might, not be the way that everybody wants, because they want to see teams winning 3 and 4-0. But they have it up here, don't they?
No, they do.
That shows it.
They're hard to beat. What they do very well, they keep the ball, so they don't give the ball easy away to the opposition. If the opposition don't have the ball, they can't score. And then when crosses come into the box, they defend them really well. Yeah. Even though they are not big at the back, they attack the ball really well, and they give the striker a lot of contact so that you can't jump free. They don't give a lot of chances away.
You look at that back four, and you wouldn't fancy them to be able to keep the ball out of the net that often. But as you said, they are dynamic in the box, in both boxes. And I think with the final coming up on Sunday, I think the fact that Vidal is in the final makes it worth watching, because he is just brilliant to watch.
And you've often said it, actually, when we've done Champions League and with England. As a defender, you don't necessarily have to win the header. You just have to get up there with the and give them a nudge and put them off, and that's what they did so effectively.
Vidal's smaller than me, but he doesn't lose many headers. He jumps into the chest of the centre forwards and just puts them off.
OK, after the break, we'll look ahead.